Hello, good
Good afternoon.
afternoon.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Native Camp. Can you see and hear me well?
Yes,
That's great. My name is Anna and you are? What's your
my name
name?
is Kazuhiro, so
Oh,
please call me
nice to
Kazu.
meet you. Nice to meet you this afternoon, Kazu.
Yeah, nice to meet you too.
How are you today?
I'm good, thank you for asking.
Wow, that's great to know. Now, this time I would like to ask you first if am I speaking too fast, too slow, or just okay?
Just okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. Now, let's have your textbook. You chose your daily news. Is this correct?
Correct.
And today we are going to discuss all about how planning can play the audio this time.
Uncertainty.
Okay, that's the
Okay,
US.
uncertainty,
Okay, that's the US. Now let's have the next one.
Uncertainty.
uncertainty.
And that's the UK. Now let's have an example sentence in your chat box.
Okay,
All right?
there is uncertainty over the company's future.
Okay, thank you. Now this time let's have the next word. I'll play the audio this time.
Okay,
Correlate.
Okay,
correlate,
that's the US.
Correlate.
correlate.
And that's the UK. So what do you think? Is it the same pronunciation or not really?
Slightly different, I think, but and I'm not sure exactly what is different between them.
Okay, so you mean you want to know the exact difference between the two?
Yes, difficult to pronounce by myself, but yes, I can hear the difference between them. But hmm,
But
and I
mhm.
think UK is slightly plain.
Okay, all right. So
UK is huge, have a huge accent.
okay, so their differences is also based on their intonation because
Intonation.
there
Okay.
yes because we have uh, rising intonation which is high and the
Hmm.
falling intonation which is low intonation. So you can
Okay.
immediately differentiate through with that intonation. Okay, so let's have an example sentence in your chat box first.
Stress levels and heart disease are strongly
Soothing.
soothing.
That's the US.
Soothing.
Soothing.
And that's the UK. Now let's have an example sentence in your chat box.
I put on some nice soothing music.
Okay, now this time let's have the last word.
Suppress.
Suppress.
That's the US.
Suppress.
Suppress.
And that's the UK. So which is prefer for you to use? Is it US or UK?
And probably the US
Okay.
Florence accent is more popular than UK
Yeah.
accent in Japan.
And I've noticed that most of the Japanese people they prefer to use US than UK. Am I correct?
Yes, most of TV series or something come from US, so the probably the US pronunciation is more familiar with
Okay, all right. So yeah,
Japanese.
even me, I prefer to use US than UK, and I think it is more easier than UK
Yeah, yeah,
for
yeah,
me. Yeah, but it's your choice on what kind of accent you want to use. But we need to learn the two accents. That's
yeah.
very
Okay,
important. Okay, so
okay.
thank you for that one. Now let's just have an example sentence in the last word.
The virus suppresses the body's immune system.
Okay, alright, so thank you. Now, this time, I just want to check first our listening skills for a while this time.
Okay,
Okay, so is it okay with you that I am going to play again one audio and then you have to tell me if it's a US or a UK? Is it okay?
okay, okay.
Alright, so let's have this one again. Okay,
Suppress.
now what is that?
Suppress. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. One,
Is it
one additional. Yes, one more, please. Sorry.
okay?
Suppress.
US.
All right, perfect. Okay, you've got it. Now this time let's have the last one.
Soothing.
Soothing.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Okay, I'll play it one more time.
yeah.
Soothing.
Hmm. Almost same, I think, US.
Okay, very good. Okay, that's
I'm not sure what is difference, but almost
uh,
same.
yeah. So it's a US now. Let's have the last one.
Correlate.
Oh, UK.
Okay, perfect. Okay, thank you so much for answering those uh, pronunciation. Now, this time, let's move on to your comprehension.
Okay.
Okay, so in here, you have your listening focus. Now, you have your three questions that you need to answer later on.
Okay.
Okay, let me read the first question for you. What does Siobhan Newport say humans are uniquely capable of? Second, what does scheduling future events acknowledge? Last one, what does cognitive load theory indicate? Okay,
Hmm.
so those are the questions that we need to answer later on.
Okay.
Okay, so now let's listen to the article. We have an audio here. We need to listen very well. Are you
Okay.
now ready?
Yes.
Okay, I'll play now the audio.
How planning can help pandemic stress. The stress of a pandemic spread can make studies have shown a strong connection between anxiety and an unclear future, and that intolerance of uncertainty strongly correlates with depression. Siobhan Newport, a professor of psychology at North Carolina State University, says, as humans, we're uniquely capable of thinking about the future. We're the only species that spends this much brain power planning ahead. A recent study Newport co-authored shows it is important to keep making plans to help stay in a positive mindset and keep from being overwhelmed by stress. Newport explains, planning can be a powerful form of proactive coping. By scheduling future events, it acknowledges that there will be a future and that when it arrives, you'll be able to do the things you want to do. Simply making a list of the activities that you want to schedule is in itself soothing. Planning can also help suppress anxiety by dealing with cognitive clutter. Cognitive load theory is a term first coined in the late 1960s. It indicates that the human brain is capable of processing a limited amount of information at any given time. E.J. Masacampo, an associate professor of psychology at Wake Forest University in North Carolina, says, on average, when you ask people to write out all their current goals and to-dos, there are 15 different things people are thinking about and pursuing at any given time. There's a lot of stuff going on in the unconscious. According to Masacampo's research, unresolved thoughts and objectives can quickly become overwhelming, which breeds anxiety and causes intrusive thoughts. He and his co-author found that planning to accomplish a goal had the same effect as actually accomplishing it. The science behind happiness says you should keep on planning for things even if they may not happen.
All right. Okay, so now I think you can answer the questions that we have there.
Okay.
Okay, so let's begin with the first one. What does Siobhan Newport say humans are uniquely capable of?
Okay. As humans, we are unique, capable of thinking about the future. We are only species that spend this much brain power planning ahead.
Wow. Okay, very correct answer. Now, in what paragraph is that?
Second paragraph.
Wow. Okay, so thank you so much for answering that one. Now, let's have the second one. What does scheduling future events acknowledge?
Um,
Mm-hmm.
okay. By scheduling future events, it acknowledges that there will be a future and that when it arrives, we'll be able to do the things we want to do.
Very well said. Okay, it's correct. You have a correct answer for that one. And you can find that one in the third paragraph. Am I
Yeah,
correct?
correct.
Okay, let's have the last one. What does cognitive load theory indicate?
Okay, cognitive lead theory indicates that the human brain is capable of processing a limited amount of information at any given time.
All right. Wow. So it seems like you've understand the article very well
Hmm.
because you answer it correctly. Did you prepare of this before entering our class or not yet?
No, not
Wow.
yet.
Wow, lucky you because you've really understand.
A word in this article, so yes, slightly difficult for me.
Yeah. Okay. So, but good job. You still understand those article. Okay. So now this time let's move on to your readout. But anyway, do you have first your question?
No question, thank you so far.
Okay, so let's have now your readout. You have to read aloud the article this time by your own.
Okay. How planning can help pandemic stress. The stress of the pandemic spread can make it nearly impossible to predict what will happen. This uncertainty about the future is tough on mental health. Studies have shown a strong connection between anxiety and an unclear future, and that intolerance of the uncertainty strongly correlates with depression. Sheban Newpart, a professor of psychology at the North Carolina State University, says as humans we are uniquely capable of thinking about the future. We are only species that spend this much brain power planning ahead. A recent study new part co-authored show it is important to keep making plans to help stay in the positive mindset and keep from being overwhelmed by stress. New part explained planning can be a powerful form of proactive coping. By scheduling future events, it acknowledges that there will be a future and that when it arrives, you'll be able to do the things you want to do. Simply making a list of the activities that you want to schedule is in itself struggling with cognitive clutter. Cognitive lead theory is a term first coined in the late 1960s. It indicates that the human brain is capable of processing a limited amount of information at any given time. E.J. Mascampo, an associate professor of psychology at the Wake Forest University in North Carolina, says, on average, when you ask people to write out all their current goals and to-dos, there are 15 different things people are thinking about pursuing at any given time. There's a lot of stuff going on the unconscious. According to Meshcampos research, unresolved thoughts and objectives can quickly become overwhelming, which breeds anxiety and causes intera- instra- intrusive,
Intrusive.
intrusive thoughts. He and his co-author found that planning to accomplish a goal has the same effect as actually accomplishing it. The science behind happiness say you should keep on planning for things, even if they may not happen.
All right. Okay, so thank you so much for reading that one. Is it difficult?
Yes, some are familiar word to
Okay,
pronounce.
so there are some of words that it's really hard to pronounce very well.
Yeah,
But anyway, it's a good job because you've made it. You've read it, finish the article.
okay, thank
Okay,
you.
so now this time let's just have this one. Okay, let's have the first word. We have there accomplishing.
Accomplishing.
Okay, now let's have the second word.
In interest.
Okay, that is
Intrusive.
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 Okay, all right, so thank you for reading that one. Now, this time, let's move on to your discussion.
Okay.
Okay, so in here we have some of the questions that we need to answer, but you can answer this one by your own opinions. Okay, you can answer this one freely. Now let's begin with the first question for you. Okay, I'll just type it in the chat box. Just a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the first one is: do you agree that our uncertainty is top on mental health?
Yes, yes, I do.
Mm-hmm. Why? Why do you say so?
Because I am worried about uncertainty
Mm-hmm.
because uh, I normally decide what should we do every day.
Ah.
So uncertainty is quite quite unusual thing for me.
Mm.
So before doing anything, I have to plan something to do. So uncertainty is not good thing for me.
Yeah, even me. As I've read this question, I've already put in my mind, oh,
Mm.
I think this is me. Because
Uh,
I also did that one, and I think it's not really good for me, but not only for me, but in everyone.
everyone, yes,
Yes,
yes.
because it will turn to be sick. So that's
Mm.
why uh, we have to avoid this one. We need to try to avoid this one. But I think we cannot stop.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we cannot stop. But as much as we can, we have to avoid this one because it's not good for our health.
Yes,
Yeah.
so that's the important point. And
Yes.
there's a COVID-19 situation.
Yes, yes. That is one of the problem this time.
Yeah,
We became so stressed, not because we are so empty, but also because of our situation this time.
yeah,
We are facing a very weird situation.
yes. So
Not
that they
only
got to go out. So that yes, we have
yeah,
to stay with a limited situation.
yes, and also we need to adopt a new normal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you for sharing your ideas, and I've realized that we need to take good care of ourselves this time. Okay. All right. So now this time, let's have your second question. Okay. I'll put it in your chat box first.
Okay.
Do you agree that planning to accomplish a goal has the same effect as accomplishing it?
Quite a difficult question. Hmm.
Okay. So do you agree
Um.
with this one?
Yeah. No.
Okay, why?
Probably. Why? So the planning is a quite important activity to make a plan. So plans are
Yeah.
quite important, but we have to several options to have a plan to accomplish a
Yes.
goal. So the plan is a, method to make a goal.
Yeah, that's why sometimes you became stressed because you need to achieve your plan, you need to achieve your goal, but at the same time, you don't know how to do it.
Oh
You
yeah,
don't know how to accomplish it. And yes, as what you mentioned earlier, that it's easy to have a plan, but
yeah,
I think it's difficult to accomplish.
yes.
It's quite difficult uh, gaining those plan or goal. So if you have a plan, make it sure that you will not become stressed in planning how to achieve.
Yeah, that's an important thing to make a plan
Mm-hmm.
to fasten to achieve the goal. I think,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yes.
but this is the only way
Yeah, yeah.
to achieve the goal.
Okay, and I think planning is only a step towards accomplishment.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so it's a kind of a step, and also it doesn't give the same satisfaction
yeah.
because if you will plan this time, tomorrow you have another plan, and then the next tomorrow you have another plan. So there is
Yes,
no
yeah.
satisfaction.
After getting the result, we have to rearrange the plan every
Yes,
day, every time.
yeah, and we became stressed on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, thank you for sharing that one. Now, this time, let's have the next question.
Okay.
Okay, I'll put it first in your chat box. Just a moment.
Hmm.
Which do you like? Is it to focus
Like,
on one goal
yeah,
at a
yeah.
time?
So, I normally have several goals to achieve
Yes, yes, me
something, so
too.
that probably the work on more than one goal at that time is important to do the several things. But most effective way to achieve the goal is to focus on the one goal at that time. I think
Yes, yes, yeah. Yes,
exactly.
yes, exactly. Yes. We have a lot of goals. Am I correct? We have a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
goals, and it's okay. It's okay to have goals, not just one,
Hmm.
two, but as long as you want.
Yeah.
But what's the most important is you need to focus on that goal. So
Hmm.
you have to finish first the first goal, and then if you finish on that one, you need to proceed to the next one.
Yeah.
And as what I've noticed in our generation this time, that
Hmm.
we are often planning a lot of goals,
Yeah.
but the problem is we did not accomplish it.
Yeah.
We did not accomplish, but why? Why do you think that uh, it doesn't became an effective way?
um,
Is there a
Probably
problem?
I normally have several goals, so that we have to divide my capability.
Yes,
so
yes.
the the all goal is difficult to achieve the higher level of the goal.
Yes, yes, yes. So that's
So that
why.
with a limited capability.
Yeah, so it's also depend on our abilities to do it.
Yeah.
The last one before we end our time, do you
Okay.
believe that it is always important to have a plan?
Mm, always important? Yes, I think
Yes,
so.
of course. Yes, it's very important.
Yes. To
Why is
consider
it?
is quite important to avoid a mistake and change the plan
Yes,
every
yes.
time.
That's why we need to be careful at the same time. We need to make it sure that it's not really a mistake.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for this afternoon. I hope to see you next time.
Thank you
Okay.
so
Thank
much.
you. Bye
Bye.
bye. Have a good day.